Hi, so we have Jessica here today speaking to the students about her experience in Maynooth University. And Jessica, I'm delighted to be talking to you because there's a lot of students in our school who are so interested in doing the arts degree in Maynooth. And I just can't wait to hear all your insights into the college and to the courses. So I suppose if you just kind of talk me through your own school experience first, Jessica, and yeah, how was your experience of secondary school in Closter?
I absolutely love secondary school. I think I made that very clear throughout the 6 years that I was there. It was a very positive environment for me. I tried out lots of subjects that I really sparked my interest, but I found some subjects that I really, really did like and some really difficult. But also the teachers were very, very good and very supportive and really, really helped me today.
Okay, so how did the subjects that you mentioned there, how did they influence you on your maybe on your career path?
So everyone knows that I love, love, love geography in school and Irish also. And I'm hoping to be a primary school teacher, and I'm doing it in this back doorway of an arts degree. So geography, I just loved it in school. I loved the curriculum; it was amazing. So that's what I'm studying now in arts and also Irish because I just love the language, and it'll be definitely beneficial for doing the primary school course. So yeah.
Okay, so you just mentioned there about the primary school and the primary school teaching. So I might just explain that about the backdoor entry route into teaching. So, obviously primary school points is extremely high points. And a lot of teachers would go through an arts degree for 3 years. And for students who don't know what an arts degree is, it's a number of different subjects. And I know you'll talk about the subjects that you have studied. You studied, with the geography and the Irish, but there is other ones like your criminology, your psychology, etc. And I suppose one point that I just want to make, and you might agree with this, is that if you have an idea in your head, like the primary school teaching that you're going to go on to, was your subject maybe influenced that you need the Irish, the geography, you're really interested in it, and it probably will help you with the primary school teaching also. Just from picking subjects in an arts degree, would you agree that try to pick subjects that maybe complement each other or would help you maybe further or later on?
100%, because in when you do an arts degree through and then to the back door into primary school teaching, the Frebel course or whichever course you're doing, DCU, etc., you need to sit a TEG oral. So
Okay.
I picked Irish because if I stopped doing that in secondary school, I wouldn't be progressing on my Irish, sorry. So with doing it now the last 2 years, I find that like even the little bits of Irish, I'm not fluent yet, but I'm getting there. And even in the summer it's compulsory, like you have to go to the Gael Tacht. So it's like little things like that that's great, and that will be definitely beneficial, and that's why I chose it in the arts.
Okay, and we'll talk about the arts degree more in a minute, but I suppose back to your school experience then. So, like, what role did your teachers maybe play in you choosing your college courses?
My two guidance counselors, they were very, very helpful. There was like loads of meetings and stuff like that, and I was
Are
a
you,
bit
are you talking? Are you talking about me, Jessica? Is it?
yeah, the circuit, the best one. And they were they no, honestly, like all jokes aside, they were very, very good. And like I didn't know what I was doing. It was kind of risky, and I didn't know if I was getting enough points. But he was guiding me in the way that, like, if you don't get the points on the day, it's not the end of the world. There's backdoor into everything, and I'm really, really happy with my decision now. I think it's really, really good for me.
Okay, so and it's great, and you're going to be such an amazing primary school teacher, and I think everyone that's watching you on here today that has taught you will agree with that one. So I suppose the transition to college then. So you obviously went through the transition from primary into secondary school, and you probably remember that because it is a daunting experience when you're going into secondary school. But into college then, what's the most challenging part of the transition going from post primary then into the big bad world of university?
Well, for me personally, it was that not a lot of people from my year in sixth year was going to Maynooth. So my best friends weren't going to Maynooth, they were going to Dunboyne, which is also a great college. But it was hard to kind of like, find friends with big lecture halls and stuff. But what I actually done, there's loads of clubs and societies in the college. So there's a big broad like stuff to choose from. So I actually joined the musical society because, as a lot of people know, I love that. So I found like best friends, like two girls that I'm still best friends with to this day, and like similar interests and stuff like that. So that's definitely a good transition. How like to get a good transition into college, I think.
And it's funny because I've also interviewed other students for College Awareness Week this year, and they'll all say the same thing about the clubs and societies. And it brought me back to my own college days,
Yeah.
joining clubs and societies, trying to find people who are interested in the same, whether it be your sport, your music, drama, etc. So they are so important. And I know one big issue when COVID happened was that students weren't going into college or able to join those societies. So that had a massive impact on their own college experience, I suppose. So it's great that they're up and running again, and I'm delighted to hear that you're in the musical and doing great in that. That's great. Did you feel prepared for college life, or what do you think might have helped?
In school in sixth year, we had the guidance classes. I had mine every Monday, I think, Monday afternoon, and it was great. I really think they were beneficial because we learned how to create study plans and little things like that. And now bringing that into college is actually really, really helped me because it's so hard, like, especially coming back after a long summer, assignment deadlines and everything. So it was great to have that study plan and learn how to do a study plan, because it's mad, like, you think it'd be simple, but it actually isn't.
Okay, so how have your study habits maybe changed from, say, post-primary now into college?
Um, it's actually harder in college for me, I think, because I didn't have a part-time job in secondary school, so it's hard to kind of find that balance now. But definitely in college, it's a lot more freedom. So, like, it's not your typical, especially in an arts degree, 9 to 5, like the way school kind of was, or 9 to 4, whatever it was. But in college, like, so today, for example, I had like a 2 hour gap, so I went to the library and studied. Like, it's definitely more freedom to, like, to get the assignment done, get the homework done, stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Um, so do you think it's difficult, like you mentioned there, now you have a part-time job, is that right? You have a part-time job. So
Yeah.
do you think is it difficult to balance the two? Do you find it difficult to balance the academic side of college and then the other side of maybe your social life and your working life?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think it is, because I'm working 3 times a week. So it is very, very difficult. But if you're just working one day at the weekend, it's not that, it's like, it's grand. But because I was working one day at the weekend last year, but this year I'm not taking on another job. So I'm working 3 days a week. So it is a bit difficult. But, I want, my part-time job is working with kids, and that'll be on my CV for hopefully when I'm going into my my PME. So, working with kids, and that's great to see. So that's why I'm just making it work.
Okay, and just the PME for some students who might not be aware of that. If you do a 3-year arts degree, you can go on to do a PME, which is the Masters in Education for 2 years in your teaching, etc. And I know you mentioned the Irish interview there, and that would be part of getting into that Masters. So it's great that you are doing the Irish that we'll talk about in a minute. So I suppose, what's been the most rewarding part of college so far?
I have to say, and I keep repeating myself, it's the clubs and societies, because, like, as I said, my few friends that I'm after making, like, it's really, really, like, refreshing, and they're just great, and it's like, like-minded people, and, like, it was really hard to find at the start, but it took, you won't believe this, I'm a little bit shy sometimes, so it took me a few weeks at the start to get into it, and then come December time I joined, and it was the best thing. I'll never look back from doing it. It was great.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
So talking about, maybe if I talk about your CAO application, because I know the CAO has opened earlier this month, right? And we have two sides on the CAO. We have the higher degree side, which is your level 8s, and then we have the level 6 and 7s. So I know you had put down your primary school teaching, etc., and an arts degree, and that's where you're at the moment. But did you find it hard to fill out any courses on your level 7?
No, because we got, like, the two guidance counselors in our school, yourself and the other one, and these were very, very good at, guiding us for the PLCs and stuff like that. It was very, very good. So no, I didn't find any difficulty.
Oh, okay. So in the arts degree, can you talk me through that? Because we have quite a lot of students, as I said, interested in an arts degree. So imagine we don't know anything about an arts degree. So can you talk me through the very start of maybe you starting your arts degree in terms of subjects and lectures, and knowing, okay, I know you were very interested in geography and the Irish. So that was probably two subjects that you had your eye on anyway before going into an arts degree. But can you tell me about the other subjects and how you would go about, like, if someone was going into an arts degree and maybe was interested in the philosophy or criminology, or the computer science, etc., do they give you an opportunity to maybe look at those subjects before picking? So can you talk me through that?
Yeah. So in first year for arts degree, you have to fill out 60 credits and you have to do 4 subjects. So it gives you a broad range of subjects between Spanish, ancient Greek studies, geography. There's loads, and like it's all on the Maynooth website. So you pick 4 of them, and that adds up to your credits. But what they allow you to do in the first 4 weeks of college, until they give you a deadline in October, they let you sit in on lectures. So I was very kind of hell bent going in that I really wanted to geography because I was very passionate about it in school, and the same with the Irish. But I didn't know what my other 2 subjects were going to be. So for the first 4 weeks, I sat in on some Spanish lectures, some English lectures also, and some maths ones as well, and just kind of find that, like, what you like and what you don't like. And I think that's very, very good for them to do. So like it gives you the opportunity to know, for you to know, like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what like it is.
Okay, so I know when talking to students, and you might have remember me saying this to you as well during our guidance appointments, it's so important to look at maybe the modules or the course content before starting a course, just to have an idea of, what it is about. For example, computer science, people might think, oh, I'm really good at computers and I love this. But in actual fact, if you look at the course content and the modules, it's it's all about maths.
Yeah.
So would you see a benefit in researching the courses that you're looking out for, and how can it help you when you maybe start on that course?
Oh, 100%. It's definitely beneficial because, like, and there's some also requirements for some subjects. So for Irish, you have to get a H4. For
Okay.
the Gaelga in college, you have to get H4 in your Irish and secondary skill in your leaving cert. So there's some requirements. It's also very good to look at. And then looking for the course content, it's about finding, as I said, what you like doing. So like in the new Gaelga in first year, it's very grammar based. So like, if you like that kind of side of it, choose it. And then like there's some other subjects that, you have to kind of look for, because like it might not be what you think it is. So
Yeah.
it's definitely important to look at the content.
So can you talk to me about your 2 subjects? So obviously in first year you have the 4 subjects that you picked. So what were the 4 subjects that you picked in first year? So you have the New Gaeilge, you have the geography. Then what other 2 subjects did you pick?
So for the 4 weeks, I didn't find really anything else that I really, really liked. So I ended up doing a double geography. Because I still was kind of unsure whether I wanted to do primary or secondary, so that would be beneficial doing the double geography. So I done double geography, Nua Gaeilge, and I also done critical skills. So critical skills is a very, like, you can't take that into second year, but it's very, very good for first year. I really think that helped me as well with like some computer skills, like Excel sheets, like all those stuff. It really, really helped me, and like how to write an essay. It was very much that content based, but I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, so that didn't exist when I was in college many years ago, and I know it is something that I see all the time in an
Yeah.
arts degree, so the critical thinking and skills.
Yeah.
So that is what you mentioned there. So learning how to use maybe your Microsoft Word, your Excel. What else do they look at in that module?
They do a lot of readings, but it's all about kind of like computers and all that, and how to do like how to like write essays, and how to paraphrase stuff, like, because these are all like words that when I was going to college that I didn't really know how to do. So like, reference stuff, like it's
Okay.
beyond you, like all used like now. So like you do that when you go into first year in college, but it's hard, like when you're going your first week, you're like, oh, what's the reference? But actually, by doing critical skills, they teach you how to do all that, and they show
Okay.
you, and they download all the stuff in your laptop, and it's great. So I definitely would recommend doing that 100%.
Okay, that's a fantastic tip for students thinking about
Yeah.
doing an arts program, because sometimes the critical skills and thinking seems a bit wishy-washy when you see it. But I do see it's so important,
Oh,
to kind of think of picking it up in first year, and then I know you don't have to keep it on the second year. So okay, so that's first year of arts. Then you move into your second year of arts. So you drop subjects then, isn't that correct? So can you tell me a small bit about that and how you balance out, is it a double major, major minor, and how the credits are divided with that?
perfect. So since I've done critical skills in first year and double geography in Irish, you can't take critical skills, as I said previously, you can't take critical skills into second year. So I only had to pick between geography and Irish. So you can do a single major, which is just geography, or just straight through Irish. Or you can do a double major, which is 30 credits of geography and 30 credits of Irish, so 60 credits altogether. Or then do a major minor. So do major in one and then minor. So 40 credits major and then 20 credits minor. So for me, the best one for me was to do the major minor, because I learned, and you learn very quickly whether you're good at doing the exams or doing CA, like a continuous assessment. So when I was looking at the course content, like you and the other guidance counsellors told me to do, like for the second year, I found that there's like a lot of CAs in geography, and I do very, very well in the CAs, because I'm not very good on the day and all that stuff. So I picked it based on that.
Okay,
Like,
interesting.
yeah, it's, and that's why I done it. A lot of people done it like just to do a double major. Might not. I definitely done it on CA because I'm better at just on my laptop and just get the assignment done and then not have to worry about it till you get my grade. That's why I chose it.
Okay, so that's actually something that I wouldn't have thought about. So like in second year, yeah, wondering am I better at continuous assessment, junior essays as you go along? Like our LCA students at the moment in school, you know, they would do a lot of that on their program,
Yeah.
or doing the exam at the end. And I know, you know, from doing exams in college, it can be quite stressful. And when you're so tired, etc., you know, forgetting some of the information and feeling let down that you haven't performed on the day, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a good few students in your class in an arts degree. So, and I know you've probably come up with your own little friends group in on those subjects, like you said about your geography and your Gaeilge. Where are they going? So, are a lot of students who picked New Gaeilge, is there a plan to go on to do teaching, or have they talked about maybe areas that they want to go into after their arts degree?
Um, all of the people that I know are in my geography and Irish, my new Gaeilge lecturers, and they all want to be a secondary school teacher. They're all planning on being either a secondary or primary school teacher. No one that I know of so far is doing something else. But yeah, so they only want to be teachers so far.
Okay, and that will probably coincide with, you know, the Irish and, you
Yeah,
know, in Ireland that you need the H4 no matter what.
yeah.
I know of students before who've done a, you know, PLC, gone to England to do the teaching, then they have to come back, they have to sit the Irish exam, and that can be kind of difficult. As you said, you're continuing with your Irish, etc. So you kind of have a bit of it, you know, for your interview. But when you take a break like that, a student going to England to do the primary school teaching, even though that is it's brilliant over there, it's always hard to come back to sit that Irish exam.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maynooth has changed because before with their Irish, they would have looked at a lot of the Shan Gaeilge. So do you look at any of the older Irish on your course, or is it's all new Gaeilge now?
It's all in first year. It was all no Gaeilge, so we had to do 2 modules for Irish, and one was full grammar, and I thought that was very, very good because it's kind of like a continuing on from school. So doing your ray vocals and all the stuff like that, you continue on doing from school. And then for the other module, it was on your literature, so like you were like reading short stories or like poems or stuff like that. And then when you come into second year, you can choose your modules. You can do a Shan Gaeilge module, but if you don't feel like that would be your stronger as or whatever what you want to say, you don't have to choose that. There's a lot
Okay.
of wide range of modules to choose from. So like I chose again grammar because I done well in that in the first year, and I chose Dawn's poems also. So
Okay.
they were
So
my
there's a choice.
yeah.
Okay, that's really good because I know that has changed because in the past it was Shan Gaeilge, and I know a lot of
Yeah.
students struggles with that. I think I would have mentioned that to you as well
Yeah.
with the Gaeilge with Irish, the old one. Sometimes it can be very difficult. Okay, so in terms of getting to college, can you talk to me a small bit about that? So you're living currently in Longwood.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about how you get to college?
So last year I commuted. I was on the bus, the 115, collected me at 9:15 every morning in Longwood and brought me to Maynooth. I really, really think it's very, very good to commute because the bus is only like that €2, like it's grand with your leap card. You get a student leap card, like it's discounted, it's amazing. Where like my friend, they're like, there's like one of the girls that I know, and she like, she can't find accommodation. She's coming from Mayo, like it's very, very hard to find accommodation in Maynooth now. That like she's like there's people living in Dublin all around, all sorts, Selbridge, all sorts, because there's no accommodation on campus. Like they're crying out for it. So I definitely think if you live anywhere like close to Maynooth, they're even Maynooth are pushing it on to commute because it's so much easier for the people that are traveling, like my friend from Mayo and like Dundalk, like far away, that they don't have that option.
Okay, so I know there is a housing crisis at the moment, never mind with students and rent. And I
Yeah.
know it's always a problem, but it is something to look at when you are picking your courses, whether you're looking at, you know, maybe Limerick, Dublin, I know is a massive problem. Well, all the cities in Ireland are a massive problem, but it is a factor to consider the commuting. Do you know that kind of way? Because if you picked UCD, even though there's amazing courses over there, how are you going to get there?
Yeah.
So are you still commuting then this year, Jessica?
Yeah, I'm still commuting this year. I'm just driving this year, and they have parking on campus, and it's only €40 for the year for the parking permit. You have to get a parking permit, apply for it online through Maynooth University. It's only €40 for the year, and there's loads of car park spots. Like you're grand for it. Like, so that's the way I commute this year.
Okay. That's changed also from when I remember Maynooth, but so that's good that they're updating their parking facilities.
Yeah.
If you could go back to secondary school, is there anything you would have done differently?
Not really. I loved secondary school, but I think what the 6 years need to remember, and all years coming up to it, is 6 year is your last year with your group. So you're in this close. I think there was something like 90 people in my group. Sorry, I should say, and like I think you get overwhelmed with leaving cert and CBA or but like all those stuff. And I think you need to remember that it's actually your last time together. And even me and my class were saying at our graduation when we went out after, like I think we just took it for granted almost. I think we were so like invested and overwhelmed and like studying and getting there. We're like, that's okay. And I totally, you have to study and you have to do well in school, but remember that, this is your last time with those 90 people. Even if you don't talk to everyone, take that year to just talk to that person. That's what I think, looking back, what I would do different.
Okay, and if there's anyone anxious about starting, whether it's a PLC, an apprenticeship, or university, what would you advise them from going through the whole kind of starting in the first year last year?
Definitely join a club or society. As I said, repeating myself and probably repeating everyone else that was on here to talk, but it's definitely beneficial. And I joined too late. I joined in December. I should have joined the first week, because like it was a challenging few weeks not joining it for me, because I'm walking in, there's like loads of people in my lecture hall. It's not like secondary school classes where the 20 people in your class. Like there's like 100 people in your lecture hall. Like you're trying to make friends, but definitely join the clubs and societies. That's the best route to go down. 100%.
Yeah, and I remember like even you saying that, like I remember obviously when I was in college, and because I lived kind of close to Dublin, I commuted as well. And I remember, like, it's actually bringing back memories talking to all the students, because I remember, because I was commuting, I was going into college and then I was leaving straight away. So, my friends who were like on the course with me, they would be hanging around making each other dinner, or, they'd go to the cinema or do something in the evenings. And I wasn't there because I was gone home, because I was commuting. So I definitely can see the benefit of joining societies if you are commuting, to have that kind of different circle of friends, etc. So that's come up on all the interviews this year. So that's actually very interesting. Okay, so do you think school prepares you for college life?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Because in college you do have that freedom, so there's no one on your back 24/7 saying you need to get this done, you need to get this done. But it's very good the way we are learned in secondary school, and the broad range of subjects, because actually when it comes to picking your subjects or what you want to do in life, I think school and how you're being taught subjects in school, like really like makes you like know what you want to do, I think. So yeah.
Okay. So I won't keep you too much longer. I really, really do appreciate you talking to me, because I know there are students interested in the arts degree, and it's just so amazing to see, what you're at and how the arts degree works, because even for me, it's constantly changing. So, even with the new Gaeilge, that wasn't something I was aware of, that, the Shan Gaeilge part is now an option, etc. So thank you so much. And when you're doing your PME, I'd love to speak to you again, because I know some of our students have been in that route as well, just to see how it's going for you and how you're getting on with it. So
Can I also make one more note about the PME? Sorry, I know I'm going to there. Sorry, but I know I was saying about the TEG exam and the newer Gaeilge. So if you don't get H4, I didn't get to actually say this. If you don't get the H4 in Irish, don't be worried. That just means you can't do. That doesn't mean you can't be a primary school teacher through arts. There's loads of other ways around it. So you just can't do Irish in arts. That's all it means. So if you then don't get your H4 in Irish and you decide to do geography and Spanish, you can also do the TEG exam to get you into primary school. It's just a different one. It's a written exam instead of an oral exam. So
Okay.
I didn't
Oh,
get.
hold on. Talk me through that again, because that is really important, because I know that H4 in Irish can be a struggle for some of our students.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you just say I want to be a primary school teacher,
Yeah.
okay, and I end up getting, I'm nearly on my H4, but I end up getting a H5.
Yeah.
I got my paper rechecked, but I'm still on my H5, and I'm
Yeah.
devastated because I want to do the primary school teaching. When I go into my arts degree, and I'm really concerned about my Irish, but I don't have to pick the Irish because there is a way around that. So if I was really passionate about, my music and, say my Spanish,
Yeah.
and I do that for the 3 years. So you're telling me that if there's 2 ways you can do that exam into primary. So the first one is the oral exam, and then the second one is the written Irish exam, is it?
Yeah, so the one I'm doing since I got the H4 is the TEG B1 exam. So that's just oral. You go in and it's like your traditional Leaving Cert oral.
Okay.
Like your short picture and all that stuff. And then the one, if you don't get a H4 in Irish or stuff like that, it's called a TEG. I think it's called a B2. I think,
Okay.
I'm not sure on that, but you can type up it's all up online on TEG. If you type up TEG on Google, it'll all come up. But it's literally just a little bit of oral, but it's more written based.
Okay, that's a really good point to make, and thanks for going back to that, because that's really important for us to know as well. Okay, Jessica, thank you so much. I'm sure all the teachers looking at you today are delighted to see you and doing so well, and you look so glam. So thanks a million for talking to us, and I'll hopefully talk to you again. Is that okay?
Thank you for having me.
Thanks a million. Bye.